Hi, I'm Michael Pfeiffer from Industrial Metallurgists. In engineering, when we're designing and manufacturing a product, we're faced with a lot of decisions and problems. And occasionally, engineering mistakes are made when we're making those decisions and we're working on manufacturing processes, doing testing, evaluating materials, evaluating the product, and occasionally mistakes occur. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some common engineering mistakes and their causes. So the topics I'll be discussing are the types of engineering mistakes, the root causes of the mistakes, and some fixes. First, I'm going to turn off my video. So to me, there are two types of engineering mistakes. The first is a process or procedure error when someone is performing a task or doing a test or running a manufacturing process, evaluating a material, and so on. And there's an error in the process, the procedure. We're familiar with that process and the procedure, but mistakes occur. So this can be connecting equipment incorrectly, using the wrong sequence for doing the steps, using the wrong material, and so on. So we are familiar with the process. We just make a mistake for one reason or another, and I'll talk about the reason for the mistakes. An example of a process or procedure error is documented in a great uh, article by Chris Lewicki. He wrote an article about his $500 million Mars rover mistake, and it's at the website shown here. And basically, what happened is that he was with a team of people working on testing the Mars rover before it was going to be launched into outer space. And in doing the testing, he hooked up a piece of equipment incorrectly, and it caused a problem. And he doesn't say why he hooked it up incorrectly, but he knows that he recognized that he hooked it up incorrectly. And you can read the article to learn more. The other type of engineering mistake is one made out of ignorance. This is when someone is unfamiliar with the situation or the science involved with a decision or a process or solving a problem, and they're unaware of all the things they need to understand, and they go ahead with the process or the decision, even though they're unfamiliar with the situation or the science. So they lack skill or knowledge in the area. So an example of this is my own personal experience. When I was working in the semiconductor factory, I was responsible for a cleaning process that was used to clean the wafers off in between processing steps as they're going from one process to the next for creating the integrated circuits. And uh, there are different steps in the cleaning process that involve using one chemical and then cleaning the wafers in one chemical and then cleaning the wafers in another chemical. And I was tasked with trying to reduce the number of particles that would deposit on the wafers during the cleaning process and subsequent processing. And I made a change to the cleaning process without understanding completely the reason for the why there was the different chemicals were used one after the other. And I made a decision based on intuition or quote unquote common sense, and made a change to the process. And it turns out that the change I made resulted in a layer of aluminum, very extremely thin layer, like nanometers thick, being deposited onto the wafers. And because I removed the subsequent cleaning step, that layer was not cleaned off. Um, so as a result of having that layer of aluminum, that very thin layer of aluminum on the wafer, that layer of aluminum interfered with a um, a process that was going to occur next after the cleaning process that affected the electrical behavior of the integrated circuits, and basically it ruined the wafers. So all the product had to be scrapped. So that was an example where I tried to use intuition without a good understanding of what was going on with the chemicals and the effects of the cleaning processes. And I'll explain more about that. So there are different root causes when it's a process procedure error versus a mistake. that's due to ignorance. So when it's for a process or procedure error, again, we know the process, we know the procedure, but we've made a mistake in that. And this is usually due to not paying attention. It's not paying complete attention to what's going on. And this could be because we're distracted, being too hasty, perhaps multitasking. Or perhaps there's no written procedure for the process. Maybe we got a bad night's sleep, or maybe we just had an argument with our wife or girlfriend. And in any case, we're distracted. And that's when these kind of mistakes occur. When it's an issue of ignorance, when we're unskilled or unknowledgeable about the area, then that's a different root cause. So this is due to either lack of education or experience in that area. And education can come not just from going to college, but it also can come from reading books or taking professional courses or learning from the others around us. So it could be that person's a beginner, you're just trying to use intuition or common sense, or just overconfident in the area. The issue with using intuition or common sense is particularly important. People, for engineering, for science, there really is no such thing as intuition and common sense. Either we know the science or we don't know the science. And there is no such thing as intuition. And someone who claims that they have scientific intuition, and in fact, I knew someone who claimed that's baloney. There's no such thing. We may have intuition about how to conduct an experiment in order to find out, to learn more about something, but that's different than using intuition to come to a conclusion or make a statement about something. So anyhow, being a beginner, using intuition and common sense, and being overconfident is one cause of making a bad decision out of ignorance. And the Dunning-Kruger effect is a well-documented effect that involves people who lack knowledge or skill in a particular area being overconfident in their level of confidence, in their level of competence, and making decisions or doing things even though it's well beyond their technical ability and technical knowledge. So the thing that I like to talk about is the hierarchy of competence. There's 4 levels. There's the lowest level is unconscious incompetence. This is where people are unaware of what they don't know, or as someone famously said, the unknown unknowns. This is not a good place to be and be making decisions. The next level of it is conscious incompetence. This is when people start gaining knowledge and understanding and are aware and appreciative and of the knowledge that's required, and are become reluctant to make decisions or to do things knowing that they are out of their depth. The next level comes with even more education and more experience. This is conscious competence. This is when we're have the knowledge and training, but we're not. It's not 100% ingrained in us, so that we're not. It takes some thinking, some thought to apply the knowledge we've gained. And finally, there's the highest level is unconscious competence. This is when we've reached a level of skill or knowledge, and experience in using that skill and applying that skill and knowledge, so that it's just secondhand, and we're extremely skilled in applying that knowledge. This is for people who have got lots and lots of experience doing certain things, reach this level of unconscious competence. And this is where we want to be. Where we don't want to be is in unconscious incompetence, when we're just unaware of what we don't know and still making decisions or doing things that can cause mistakes and cause problems. So fixes are for process and procedure errors is, first of all, having mindfulness and focus when we're doing things, being aware of the situation we're in, and realizing that we have to give 100% attention to what we're working on. This means putting the phone to the side, not listening to music, and really being mindful of what we're doing. Also, write and follow a recipe, checklist, standard operating procedure, something that is written that you can follow, that can help you make sure that you're taking the right steps. From the perspective of ignorance, the things to do are to gain experience, working in a particular area, and to learn from experienced colleagues, read books, take additional training, and make the effort to learn about the things that you will be working with, so that when you're involved in decisions or problems or in working on a process, that you will be better informed, and that you will also be better informed about the questions to ask if you're unsure. This is where the heightened level of knowledge becomes important to you, because when people become consciously incompetent at that second level, they are at least aware that they have to start asking questions about something rather than just going straight ahead without any awareness of what they're doing. Those are the two broad categories of mistakes, or how mistakes arise. The process and procedure errors and ignorance. There may be other areas, but I found that these are the two biggest areas where problems arise. I'd love to hear your comments, or if you have questions, feel free to email or to call. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it to be, I hope you enjoyed it and found it to be helpful or interesting or informative. And other than that, good luck with your medals, and thanks for watching. Bye.